This piece was inspired by my trip to New Mexico. When I went to New Mexico, it was the first time I had been out of state with my family, which is what made this such a significant memory to me. And truth be told, it was one of the most scenic places I'd been to. It was beautiful the way there's so much nature untouched by man, and particularly the scene I painted, it was beautiful. I remember we were driving on the highway and for miles, because it's so flat there, it's really flat, and for miles you could see like just the ground just completely flat, and then very off in the distance, like very very far, you could see like these large thunderclouds, and you could even see the rain coming out of them, and it was beautiful. And then there was also the mountains, and there are mountains that they didn't go over from where I was looking, they didn't cover the entire horizon, but they kind of just were on the edge of it, and they were so far away that you could tell they were large. They were huge mountains, bigger than anything I'd seen here so far. I mean, that's what led me to choose one of the words breathtaking, because it was just gorgeous. And then there were other words that I chose, like filling emptiness, and I chose filling emptiness, which is kind of juxtaposition, because how can an emptiness be filling? But it was in the sense that, as I said before, there, in this particular part that we were driving through, other than the road and the cars, there weren't any other signs of civilization. It was just nature. And in that way, it was empty of human presence, but it was full of nature, and it was fulfilling in that way to see that. When I was going through and painting this and doing my little thumbprint sketches, I couldn't remember exactly how everything had looked, but I remembered the key points that I wanted to make sure I got into the painting, such as the clouds in the distance with the rain coming down, because that was such a beautiful sight. Because here it's not flat, so you can't really see that as much, as there's hills blocking it. It was pretty incredible. And then there's the mountains, and I wanted to make sure I had the mountains because they were intimidating. And that was one of the words I also chose, was intimidating, because even though they were so far away, you could tell they were huge. There's another word I chose, and that was warm. And I chose warm because of the atmosphere the scenery gave off. Like, while it was somewhat intimidating to see all this nature, at the same time it was warm. There's the land here in California either has crops, or it's has something else, or it has mountains and hills, and it's not flat like it is there. And so I wanted to make sure that most of the picture included the sky and the ground. And so we learned about atmospheric perspective, and I incorporated that. You can't really see it that well, but I incorporated it in the mountain in the background just a bit. Well, this piece depicts my personal style and the way I muted the colors. When I paint, especially scenery, I prefer muted colors. I'm not very extravagant when it comes to that, and I especially like to pay attention to forms, and I try to be detailed. I'm not as good with that when I am with watercolor. When I work with watercolor, I have the tendency to get muddy or mix things around, which I don't dislike. I like it to some degree, and but I enjoy mixing colors, especially, and getting a good blend into different tones to give it depth. And I also love painting clouds. I think they're beautiful and gorgeous. So this depicts my personal style in that respect.